Hello everybody, Thy Lord Root here, and welcome to an episode or our first episode rather, of Let's Play Shareware. And so I've decided I'd pick probably one of the best known Shareware titles of all. And most of the best known Shareware titles do seem to come from id, but I've picked Commander Keen 4. Now, if you grew up like I did, in a household that, we had consoles, but we always got them late, then you know you had a PC. This was one of the big games. This was what I guess people would nowadays call a killer app. And this is of course a DOS game. I ended up we ended up getting our first PC, I believe, in the early '90s whenever this was released. And we had ourselves I believe it was originally a 386 SX, and this was one of the first games that we got off of the bulletin board system with our snappy, it was like 1440 baud modem, or 14400 baud modem rather. And so I have a joystick. I'm not going to use it because I was going to try and get it set up as a gamepad, but you can see we had a bunch of the original id team here working on this. And I'm using a program called DOSBox in order to do this because this is a 16-bit application that we are running here. So, yeah, you got this really nice pixel art with music by Bobby Prince. And, this is a pretty fantastic game, and they'll even, run the demos for you, gameplay. So just listen to that music. It's this at the time, like, completely blew away anything that most consoles did. It was just very now granted, I mean the SNES was out at this time, and I mean it had, I believe its hardware supported like 256 colors, but this was a very awesome, game for its time. And in fact, what ended up happening with this original game, not this game in general, but or not this game specifically, but let's say the first Commander Keen, is we there was this company down here called Softus Limited, for which Romero and Carmack and Hall all worked for. And there was a rule there, if I remember correctly, that you had to release your games on I believe it was a 560K single density floppy, and it had to support CGA as well. This is for IBM compatible machines, because there were really three big machines at that time. There was the Commodore 64, which was being phased out, and there was the Apple II as well, and then there was the IBM PC. And with the Commodore 64 and the I'm gonna quit that real quick. I'm losing at Paddle War. But with the Commodore 64, you had standardized hardware. But the IBM PC, because it was made out of plain off the shelf parts. Let me just start a new game. I'll go hard here. It was a little bit more variable in its hardware because other manufacturers started cloning it. Let me just show you the bean with bacon mega rocket wash. Well, I guess maybe it would help if I didn't leave at first. But yeah, anyway, there was this still going on with you had all these clones for the IBM PC that came out, whereas like Commodore owned the manufacturer that made their chips. And so there were very strict rules in place in softdisk where this game was, being developed by the developers in their spare time. But the issue there, of course, is that a game like this, even the original Commander game, would not fit on, it would not meet the requirements. Like, this is an EGA game with a whopping 16 colors, which was a big deal back then. I mean, it's, it's not the world's, easiest, or it wasn't the most standard hardware back then. But, and actually, I guess that's a bit of a lie, because by 1990, when the original King was released, I guess you could have said that it was, fairly standard amongst hardware. But, yeah, let's see, there we go. Hopefully it won't freeze up like that every time we beat a level. But, it was fairly, common hardware. It just wasn't standard hardware for the, I guess for the PC for, at that time, it really wasn't, a standard, I guess a standard thing for it. I mean, the main standard was, I believe it was an 8086 with 640k of RAM, which, isn't a bad, deal. That would explain why I wasn't able to get over there. Whoa! I totally was not expecting that. I thought he was gonna fall into the hole over there, but... Anyway, the original King game was it was actually a clone of the Mario 3 engine. And because they couldn't sell it in soft disk, what the people who started it decided to do was to contact Nintendo, who said something to the effect of, well, PC gaming will never take off. And they were pretty, they were fairly mistaken about that for sure. But, I guess I wasn't fast enough on that key. I guess at least I have a lot of hits. I'm gonna take the upper route here. This is on hard mode, which means that there are a lot harder enemies here. Now, these slugs you may have noticed, just basically poop everywhere. And you can't, well, they don't poop, I guess they piss everywhere. And their piss is radioactive, so you can't step in it. But, I have a feeling that's gonna be, there are boulders and shit that follow you around. I guess what I'm gonna try to do here is I'm gonna try and get most of the levels. Although you can beat this game with very few levels, so, I'm not gonna go to Mirage, I think I'm gonna go to San Diego. And, this has a lot of really nifty control features in it. That just, weren't standard at the time. I'm gonna try and... I have a feeling I just screwed myself over here. That's the boulder I was talking about. But, yeah, I mean, you've got, like, for instance, you can climb onto ledges and pull yourself up walls. And, let's see. I knew that was gonna happen. I haven't played this game in years. And sometimes you'll see, like, these little areas here where they're like little invisible platforms. But as it stands, you know, there are a ton of secrets like that over here in this game. And I think this is actually a pretty good, example of this. Is that fly after us? Yeah. Just wait for him to land. Because those things, you know, if they hit you, they'll kill you instantly. So it appears as though I've trapped myself in this corner over here. Maybe not. There's this thing I could try to do called the impossible pogo trick, which may... yeah, there we go. You have to hit your jump key at the same time that you you know, oh no. And definitely need more ammo at some point. And so I'm just going to... I'm going to kill the slug. There may be a way to get this without falling off the ledge. But, yeah, I mean, like, you've got all these hidden, passageways and everything. And there goes Facebook. I probably should have turned that off while I was recording. I'm incidentally talking about with my KSP series, doing a deal where, now I wonder what was in there. I guess I'll have the ability to check that out here in a bit. But, yeah. So, like, that slug is out for good, thankfully, but... that guy is not. We're gonna do another level, even though I got really close to beating it. I don't believe this is required one. And so we've got Miraja here that, wow, this is a lot more difficult, on the hard difficulty. This is, definitely, you know, this, on medium difficulty, this is actually not too bad, but this one is filled with, you know, monsters and everything, which I guess shouldn't be too terribly surprising. Maybe I'll just, instead of trying to trick my way up there... Whoa, that was insanely close. But yeah, I'm not doing too well on hard difficulty, for sure. And this is not generally like the worst, you know, difficulty to play on, or the game isn't always this difficult. This is, of course, the worst difficulty to play on because it's hard. But, let's see. What did I do here? I think... yeah, that is... that was a dead end there. It's been so long since I've played this. this. I don't quite remember where everything is. You know what, maybe... Well, I don't know if I can shoot this guy directly. Oh. I think he has to be out of his hole in order to shoot. And there's probably some weird timing that I have to pull off here. Now, fortunately, these water drops I'm collecting will help a great deal, and like they'll give 1-ups and everything. Oh man, that was BS. I should have gotten that, I think. The idea in this game is you're trying to save these monks that are like they're like soothsayers or something like that. And you know, they're supposed to help you progress in the quest some, and the idea is that, you know what, I think I'm gonna take this way. I remember this way being the easiest way to the website. So, normally if you like, if you play this, and you go straight to the coast like we could have done, then you will end up, you'll basically end up, you know, I guess, having Commander Keen say that he can't swim, and, that is, of course, kind of a weird thing for him to say. I mean, he's an 8-year-old boy and he can't swim. This is, by the way, another interesting thing about hard mode is that usually whenever hard mode is, let's kill that guy. Whenever hard mode is on, you know, some of those masks don't shoot arrows otherwise, but all of them will on hard mode. I wonder, I'd have to get a gem of some kind, I think. At least they're not all firing concurrently. Yeah, I guess the gem is up here. I'm pretty sure it has to be. And the question is going to be whether I can get on this platform and get back. Because there is a secret here that, if we, I guess I could have actually gone through showing you the clue first. I mean, I'm just kind of playing though right now, so I didn't really think about it. I probably should if I do more Shareware games, because Shareware games are full of these puzzles. But I'll actually show you one of the secrets here, that if you go to, I guess it's the game, and you look at the bestiary, which I'll try to find here. Yeah, those are the council members, or the people we're trying to save, but it says, watch out where you step, or there'll be a foot. The inchworms. Well, the idea is we want to get these guys to follow us, and we have 5, right? I don't know if that's all of them. But, you know, they'll come through and they'll follow us, and we want them to, I guess, just to kind of bunch up. We don't want to leave them all behind. But, there's a lot of these guys over here, so if we pull them over and get them to meet up over here, just let them bunch up a bit. I think we have like 8. I'm not entirely sure on that, but you'll notice that when we let them, get a foot, because there's 12 inches in a foot, right? So this foot takes us off to this pyramid that you couldn't otherwise get to. And I remember playing the game, as a kid, like, always being confused as to how to get there, to that pyramid. Because this pyramid is actually a pretty... if you don't really think about the puzzle, it's pretty difficult to get to. Let's see, there's an extra life there. Oh, ground. So, this one, I guess, is supposed to be the hard level, or whatever. Requires good timing. Fortunately, Lick is not coming after me, because I wonder if we duck, we'll miss that. I'm just gonna wait for that puddle to dry up. Wow, this is... that's something else. I guess at least they give you an extra life, to make up for the fact that, that you don't... There we go. To make up for the fact that some of this is very difficult to do. Let's see, where are we at now? We have to go down here and grab the, I guess, grab the key. Wow, that is... that is, mean. But, normally, like, you can shoot in all directions, including diagonally, and that is pretty cool. Not a lot of games that were shooting games had that, it seems. Just try this. Oh man, that was BS. this game has a bad habit of kicking you when you're down. But then again, I am on hard mode, so I mean, I can't really complain. I did this to myself. And I did get a bunch of lives at the beginning, so I can't really complain about that either. Let's see, maybe that'll help me a little bit. Wow, that was a really close one. I think the strategy should be the points, so once I get up here I should duck. There we go. So, yeah, we can't really duck there, we have to wait for this thing to... I don't see how we're supposed to get past that, actually. That is something else right there. We have plenty of ammo now, at least, so I could try not walking into the slugfest. That would probably be a good thing for me to endeavor not to do. But, yeah. Grab the water just in case. You have a scoreboard too, you can see I've got another 50 drops or so to go before I get a new life. I don't know what got me there, it must have been an arrow. And this is way before, like, quick saving, so there's, usually once you screw up, you screw up. It's so... And given that I'm spending an inordinate amount of time on this, if I die again, I'm just going to, I'm just gonna give up and try another level. Hopefully it'll, bring me back to the overworld. Or I could save or whatever, once I complete this. Of course, I just said I was gonna try it. And I could... You see, normally, like, I wouldn't play this until I get a game over. But it's very... I'll exit and see if it brings me back. Nah, I have to complete the level. There's no way around that. Or I guess I can just, I can die. Now, you don't have quick save, but, if you do get stuck in a situation like this, you have regular save. That is a useful thing to have. And while this game may or may not need it, I mean, it's becoming clear to me that on hard mode it does need it. lot of the games from the early 90s do happen to need it. So, yeah, so, let's see. I'll probably end up dying at this point. And I'll just, if I die, I'll end the video and I will, upload it for all to see, so everybody can see me fail. As I make stupid mistakes such as that. If I get past this, though, I'll probably save it and end the episode for now. Come back to it. But anyway, if you don't know it, then they're also people responsible for doing Quake. Wow, that was stupid of me. And by the way, you do have a limit on your ammo. You have a limit of 99 shots, I think. Let's see. There we go. It won't be long, I think, before I run out of lives on this. There's oh man, I hit jump there. I don't know what happened. See, if we do manage to get out of this alive, we'll have a bunch of free ammo because of it. Try and be a bit more careful this time. Oh man, I had that. That is, I just timed it incorrectly. I guess the deal is that I don't want to jump. Try to time this correctly this time. And hope that the slug doesn't piss where we're gonna... There we go. Just wait for that slug piss to disappear. Okay, so now we have this part here. You know what? I could try, actually, to save the game here, we'll call this, in the hidden temple. It apparently doesn't seem to have a problem with that, so maybe, maybe if I die, I can reload that. That would be kind of cool. I guess at least they weren't completely unfair about this. Well, I say that. Let me try loading that game. Hey, awesome, we do have quick save. It's a bit cheaty if we do it that way, but it's good to know. Let's try that again. But I'm just gonna try to use this as a mechanism to make the game go a bit faster, that is, especially since we're kind of trapped here. I didn't remember that we could do that. And I'm sure that, you know, there has to be some other way down. Oh, bullshit. That is bullshit. Oh. I'm not quite sure how I ducked on that thing. I think when I hit down, it drops me into the tar automatically. Or not. Oh, let's try this again. Actually, okay, so I'm more or less stuck over here. Okay, I'm gonna save here so we don't have to worry about that part. And we'll just return to game. Let's see all the magnificent bugs that the game designers did not expect. Now, I won't get fooled again about this, because I know these guys are coming down. Well, I say that, and then I, of course, let myself get killed. There we go. There we go. I'm not quite sure what that did for me, but maybe it did something cool. I mean, what I do know is that even that is a little bit too high for the impossible pogo truck. Oh god. They really do that to me. There we go. Wow, that is insane. So there's something to be said, I guess, about the fact that video games are a lot harder. Or a lot... It's not that they're harder now. Or any easier now, I guess. It's that they're... I guess to some degree, there is, you know... This guy up here. I'm just gonna let him fly in. I hope none of y'all are afraid of flies, because this is fucking ridiculous. There's so many flies in this room. At least I don't overdo it with the hardness, I guess, aside from... Okay, I guess I needed that switch to bring this thing over. Maybe what I can do is I can trap it. Oh yeah. Well, that's certainly good to know. I'm gonna save here because this tends to be where we're dying. We'll attract the whole lot of them. And these you can't actually shoot with your drawing. You just kind of have to wait for them to land. I think I'm gonna save there as well, because it at least will put us in a very much easier, situation. Whatever's up there, I'm not it's just a bunch of ice cream. I don't think that much ice cream is worth it. So yeah, this is that is not what I intended to do at all. Normally, you know, like you can look up as well. I guess I must have activated that platform. You know what, I'm gonna wait for this thing to come on by, so I think there's a red just load that thing back on up. I don't see how I was supposed to avoid that. That was relatively stupid of me. I was kind of hoping the platform would be ready. So I don't think there is, in fact, a way that we can get down there in time. Which means I think we need to go up here and not die in the process. Okay, so get back up here. I'll save here. In fact, I probably should have waited to save until I deactivate that platform. Because we don't want it going back to the other side whenever we're trying to get up there. So I'm thinking the best way to not get hit by the spore is to that fortunately will not kill us. Sluggle piss everywhere, but that part I don't think is so bad. I'm just gonna save here just in case we end up, losing all that progress. So, yeah, definitely after this level, I think it is best to call it quits. Because this has turned out to be a really inordinately long level. I probably did things in not the best order for sure. Alright, I will save here because I think the rest of this I can do fairly easily at least. And so, yeah, I guess one of the things I probably should have done was tell you all a little bit about the game. So, in this one you're trying to figure out about this alien race called the Chickadee that's trying to destroy the world. And okay, I'm gonna save there. And so you end up, trying to find these oracles dudes who can basically, they're able to operate some kind of, I don't think that was the correct way to go. At least that thing comes back up. That, however, does not. Oh, we'll try that again. But anyway, all of the council members have been captured, so you're trying to, I guess, to rescue them so that you can figure out about this device that's supposed to ruin the world, or whatever. Well, yeah, they just made life a whole lot harder there. I can guarantee you that that fly is not in the medium difficulty. I guess I could wait for it to land. Who wants to do that? We will get past this level though at this point. I mean, I think we have a pretty good idea of how to do it. We just need to and not fall to the tar in the process. So all of the you know, I guess I could probably should have been a little bit more careful with that. Alright, I'm gonna save now. Because getting across that is really annoying. And those falls are not going to make my job any easier. I don't quite see, I guess. There we go. Wow. I guess I got a little bit trigger happy there, but I don't think I'm really be blamed for that. What's down here? Oh, good. We have a timed puzzle. It looks like as well that we have to do. But yeah, we'll just get up here. Hopefully that will lead us in the right direction. That was about a disaster. I'm gonna go ahead and save here, I think. Maybe. We've already gotten this far. No, we have not. There sure is a lot of backtracking. Oh. I guess while we're here, what we could try to do is we could try to lower the sky away, although that does not appear to be feasible. So in other words, we are going to have to be really, really careful let's see. Let's save here, because I think this is the last part. There we go. We did all of that just for a janitor for the High Council. So, yeah, this game has a pretty good sense of humor in my mind. Yeah. So I guess there's the foot. I guess that's what we use to get back. So how was that for a hard level? Let's see, we'll call this Out of the Hidden Temple. And anyway, I hope that y'all enjoyed this. I'll be releasing another part pretty soon, I'm sure. But in the meantime, y'all take it easy.